Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is going to be about TNA wrestling results for the October 6th and the October 13th events. So everybody calls it a spoilers. Well, there's several reports, so there's different ideas from each one of the fans' presentations that what they gave. Reported there were 3 different results from the tapings. But first, I normally give you your TNA news and reports from your stars, former stars, ex-stars, whatever stars you want to call them. Hulk Hogan has posted a message on Twitter the other day that spoiled a future TNA storyline that was in the TNA tapings this week, as they did two TV tapings from Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. Hogan announced at last week's Impact tapings from Orlando that he's retiring, and he'd give more info at TNA's next Impact taping from Knoxville, Tennessee, which was taped tonight, which takes place, when he did this, it took place tomorrow. That was yesterday, so tomorrow being, it was Tuesday, and they did their taping on Wednesday. Hogan tweeted the following on Tuesday, revealing exactly what will be going on in Knoxville. Quote, pumped up for Impact tapings in Knoxville tomorrow. The formal ending to my long career. Thanks, Maniacs, HH, unquote. Another quote, huge celebration in Knoxville tomorrow at Civic Coliseum. All full-time Maniacs are invited. Time to thank everyone and say goodbye, HH. Unquote. Hogan had been scheduled to wrestle Sting at Bound for Glory in a match that had been planned for over a year. The match will no longer take place as a singles match, as it had been discussed that at least one or more persons will be added to the match, or it will become a tag match. And more sad news about Matt Hardy's situation. Former WWE and TNA star Matt Hardy was arrested once again last week on September 14th on drug charges that included possessing a controlled substance with intent to sell or deliver, possessing a controlled substance, maintaining a drug dwelling, and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia, according to a release today from the Moore County Sheriff's Office. Well, that report, like I said, was on the 14th, last week. New details have been now made available regarding Matt's third arrest in the past month after TMZ.com published the arrest warrant obtained by police. Matt's girlfriend, Rebecca Reyes, none other than wrestling name Reby Sky, called 911 on Wednesday last week and told police that Matt was strung out on pills and needed help. When police arrived at Matt's home, Matt had trouble speaking, so much he was very unsteady on his feet. Matt did not smell like alcohol, leading to the officers to believe that he was under the influence of some type of other impairing substance other than alcohol. EMTs were called, and Matt was taken to the emergency room out of the First Health of Carolina's hospital. Reby Sky told police that Matt had a safe at his home contained numerous Vicodin pills, which she told the police Matt did not have a prescription for. She gave police the keys to the safe. Well, a warrant was granted. Police seized the following items from Matt's home. 1. Empty small round glass container of blue locust extract. 2. Handwritten note. 3. Vials of liquid substance. 4. Vials of powder substance. 5. Syringes. 6. Empty K2 smoke blend package. And, let's see, number 7, $1,961 in cash. 8. Small blue pill. One small blue pill? That could have been diarrhea pill, for all we know. But Matt was not home at the time of the search, so he was not arrested on the spot. He later turned himself in and is due back in court on Thursday. Matt asked his Twitter followers Saturday to clarify Kurt Angle's blood alcohol concentration level during his recent arrest in Virginia on driving under the influence, who claimed he was not legally drunk at the time of the arrest. Well, Rebecca, a.k.a. Reby Sky, 25-year-old girlfriend of Matt Hardy, was recently arrested herself and charged with reckless driving, reckless endangering, and speeding charges. Well, the troubles they are having. Reyes, who hosts Lucha Libre USA on MTV2, is scheduled to appear in court on November the 2nd in Carthage, North Carolina. This is not the former Playboy model's first run-in with the law, as in 2008. She was sentenced to 12 months probation and $500 fine and 48 hours of community service after resisting arrest when she was pulled over for a broken taillight in December of 2007 in Tampa. While the officer was writing her ticket, Reyes got out of her truck and refused to get back in when asked. Instead, allegedly accosting the officer who had pulled her over and another that had arrived on the scene. When Reyes attempted to turn the confrontation physical, she was thrown to the ground and arrested. Matt Hardy's girlfriend, Reby Sky, real name Rebecca Reyes, has responded to online reports that she was recently arrested and charged with reckless driving. She tweeted on Monday afternoon at Reby Sky, quote, "So now there's a rumor that I was arrested this week," unquote. She wrote again, quote, "Hold on, let me double check." Nope. Unquote. Quote again, "I got a speeding ticket rushing to the hospital to get Matt earlier this week. That's it. God, you people are insane," unquote. The original story in the Wrestling Globe newsletter stated that she was arrested on charges of reckless driving, reckless endangering, and speeding. The North Carolina court system website states that Rebecca was charged with reckless driving and reckless driving to endanger and speeding. She is due in court November 2nd. Matt Hardy's girlfriend again claims North Carolina police coerced her into providing evidence against Hardy in order to arrest him last Wednesday. Well, the 25-year-old model tells TMZ officers intimidated and threatened her in order to gain information on Hardy's collection of prescription drugs after he was rushed to the hospital for an adverse drug reaction. Sky's information to the police was enough to obtain a search warrant, which led to Hardy's arrest. Police raided Hardy's home and he was not home. She returned from the hospital to find police at his house after conducting a raid. She says they threatened her with jail if she did not provide more info while following the investigation. Sky then showed officers Hardy's secret safe containing prescription painkillers. Sky, who called 911 because Hardy was strung out on drugs, tells TMZ she should have kept her mouth shut and the station if she knew police were accumulating evidence for the warrant, adding she would never do anything to put Matt in a compromising position with the law. Well, Matt checked in on Tuesday night with a message on Twitter. That was this week, the night before entering the WWE-sponsored rehab. Hardy wrote, quote, "Spending one last cozy night with my baby before leaving tomorrow. And, by the way, there's a lot of Harry Bosco going on in the media still," unquote. Quoted again, "Reby and I are very much together and happy. And we both are very grateful that so many people have been so supportive." And then there's a website. "Thanks." Unquote. Previously reported Ric Flair's injury was kind of incorrect. He injured his left arm in the match. Well, it's part of the left arm. Against Sting, that was taped on Monday night a few weeks ago. A match that one person said it was so bad it had no place being on TV. That's why when they went to straight to commercial breaks. So the injury actually happened during the break. Flair had TNA officials worried during the match after he clutched his shoulder and rolled out of the ring to regroup. Flair was icing his arm backstage after the match. Flair suffered a broken bursa sac in the left elbow during his match against Sting last Monday, which aired on last Thursday's episode of Impact Wrestling. The injury occurred when he took a superplex off the top rope. Well, that's one report. Another report says he got thrown out of the ring. In an update on September 29th, TNA Impact Wrestling spoilers from that night's tapings, the special announcement Hulk Hogan was referring to was at the Impact tapings in Knoxville, Tennessee on September 21st. Already read that from earlier. Well, this is another Hogan teased that he would have more details on his last appearance in the ring, like I gave earlier, at those tapings. And that September 21st in Tennessee would air on October 6th, going into Bound for Glory. Well, I'll give you a little spoiler. He's still wrestling. During the promo at last night's tapings, besides teasing his retirement, Hogan put over the stars of TNA like James Storm, Robert Roode, and others. There's no confirmed word yet on if Hogan's retirement is all part of the storyline, or if he is really stepping away from the ring and TNA in general. Hogan and Eric Bischoff's contracts with TNA are set to expire this fall. So there's your inside storyline right there. They're just trying to make a way to make it last a little bit longer. There's a feeling backstage that Hogan has been looking to leave for some time now. Well, the New Age Outlaws launched an internet show, and the Miz spoke. Miz's parents spoke in Kidman News. Okay, WWE is looking for a new senior editor for their website. Hall of Famer Roddy Piper will be appearing at the 2012 Days of the Dead convention in Peachtree City, Georgia. That's a suburb of Atlanta. On March 8th from the Wyndham Peachtree Hotel. And WWE's website has a new Where Are They Now feature upon former WCW and WWE star Billy Kidman, who is now working as a trainer in WWE Developmental Territory in FCW. And the website also has a new storyline article on the Miz's parents and his release. Storyline, folks, because I got a prediction that they're going to write it in as John Laurinaitis rehired him. And they'll do that probably this Monday. That's my prediction. And that'll be the confrontation that Triple H and John Laurinaitis will have a feud. Former WWE and TNA stars BG James and Kip James have launched a new internet show called the OUDK. I guess OUDK? I have no idea. You can view their entry on their website. The first entry below today marks the... Okay. I'll go to the video for this right now. Well,
this is the DOWJ. You can follow me at BGRoadDogJames. Okay, hold on. No. That's not what we're doing. We're here to introduce you to her. Don't plug your Twitter account because I'm sitting behind this camera. Well, I'm in front of it now, but I'm sitting behind it. So every time you plug your Twitter account, I'm gonna not film you. Okay? Take 2. Go. Unfollow the real Billy guy. You didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. This is the first night we're at St. John's, Newfoundland, I think is how you pronounce it. And sold out venue this evening. As you can't take all the credit because it's a snack card, X-Pac, Bushwhacker. Hold on. I'll take the credit. You won't. I will. Okay, sorry. 6 more days after tonight, we're up in Canada for 10 days. The East Coast Invasion Tour, CWI. I want to take the camera out there in just a minute and get a shot of the ring and the scaffolding around the arena. The arena is where I'm from. And we're going to have a good time. So come on along and join the New Age Outlaws at Newfoundland. I was thinking for a second. Look at the abs. He's gone. He's gone. Crushed. Boom. Gone. Go ahead and lock it up. He'll cut me. He'll do something. I'll go ahead and brush you. Come on, look. Here comes Brian. You're right. Yeah, me and you. Okay. You got that? Billy and Scotty Steiner are at the gym. I opted out for that. It's my cheat day. Does it end with a Y? Yes, it ends with a Y. Those are my cheat days. So I'm just milling around the arena, watching people work, getting ready to take bumps in that ring. It's hard as crap, by the way. And the guy who built that ring used to be Robbie from the Highlanders. He built it, and he asked me how it was, and I said, oh, it's not too bad. It's bad. It hurts. They all kind of hurt, to tell you the truth. I guess just a quick note. You know, my real name's Brian James, and for the last probably 30 years of my life, I've altered my mind using substances in one way, shape, or form. And for the last 10 months, I've chosen not to do that. Big thing for me was I was scared of just reality. You know, I used to be a big star, I guess, on television, and now I'm kind of just a regular guy, a husband, a father, just a dude. Today I'm trying to be the best husband I can be, the best father I can be, and the best Brian I can be. So that's where you find me at today, not altering my mind. You know, this is a quick note to anybody who has not started altering their mind with substances or alcohol. Don't start. And if you've started already, you need to stop. I know if I told you you would be rewarded for something, you'd probably want to do that. And the truth is, I've been rewarded beyond my wildest dreams, both financially and just in peace of mind, just by trying to be myself and just being okay with that. Big thing, it was fear. It was all fear-based. I was scared, and I was scared to reach out for help. It's too big. It's too big for you to handle on your own. So don't be scared to reach out for help. You need, if you're addicted to some substance, you need help. So reach out for help and listen to the people who help you, who try to help you. So, I ain't Nancy Reagan, but say no to drugs. If you ain't down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
And I will end it at that point. And now back to the action. All right. Let's see. Today marks the anniversary of the death of former WWE star Ray Big Boss Man Trailer, is also former WWE star. Passed away on September 22nd, 2004 at his home in Ackworth, Georgia due to a heart attack. He was only 41 years old. My condolences still go to his family. Speaking of her part of Almost Family, former WWE diva Terry Runnels posted a message on Twitter remembering Ray Traylor, her longtime traveling partner. She wrote, quote, "The anniversary of the passing of Big Boss Man, my best friend, brother, father, and yes, girlfriend. I miss you, Ray." Okay, Hulk Hogan has signed an endorsement deal with Sports Nutrition Innovations to launch HoganNutrition.com in October. The site will feature thousands of products and top major brands. Make it a one-stop shop where Hulkamaniacs can fulfill all their nutritional needs. Say your prayers, take your vitamins. Not many details are known yet, but TNA is planning to screen the Bound for Glory pay-per-view on closed circuit in certain movie theaters around the United States. The local NBC affiliate in Knoxville, Tennessee did a story last night on the TNA Impact Wrestling tapings that were in town. Knoxville Coliseum officials claim that the tapings were a sellout with 5,000 fans. TNA legend Ric Flair is scheduled to undergo surgery on his new injury to repair a torn left tricep. Flair was originally told that he had a broken bursa sac in his left elbow. So there's her injury that was previously done. But the injury turned out to be more severe. Thought it was getting better, but the swelling would not just go away. Flair told Mike Mooneyham of PostandCourier.com, Flair noted that the injury became worse when he threw out the first pitch at a Boston Red Sox game. Quote, when I threw Tuesday, the arm blew up to about twice the size of the other arm. It's all black and blue, unquote. Flair blamed the injury on not working enough, although that may have played a part. The officials should give serious consideration to limiting to a non-wrestling role, as he's 62 years old and he was just coming back from a torn rotator cuff. And now what you've all been waiting for, a brief report for Impact tapings for October the 6th, 2011. Thanks to Bobby Harrison for the following Impact Wrestling spoilers from last night's tapings in Knoxville. This is his first report. Remember, October the 6th. Beer Money opens the show and talks about Hulk Hogan retiring. James Storm and Bobby Roode is on for tonight. Storm and Roode put each other in Storm, declare Roode the next world champion. Kazarian beat Gunner in the first match. Gunner won at first, but wouldn't break the submission, so the referee reversed the decision as a DQ. Mr. Anderson came out to apologize to his fans. Bully Ray came out and they went back and forth on the mic. Anderson challenged Ray to a Falls Count Anywhere match at Bound for Glory. Madison Rayne and winner beat Mickie James in their second match. They defeat. Let me go back. Madison Rayne and winner beat Mickie James at Velvet Sky when Madison pinned Velvet. Angelina Love at ringside distracted Velvet for the finish. Eric Bischoff came out and called Jeff Hardy out. Bischoff ripped on Hardy about letting everyone down. Jeff spoke some and ended up hitting Bischoff with a twist of fate. Immortal came out for the save, but Jeff ran through the crowd to escape. And another match, Crimson beat Samoa Joe. No details on that. Like I said, it's brief. Bobby Roode beat James Storm in the match of the night. Easily, Kurt Angle ended up running out and attacking Storm while he was on the outside. Bear Money embrace and left together. Hulk Hogan came out to a monster pop for his retirement promo. Hulk thanked the fans for everything. Hogan had his red and yellow leather belt and cried some. Sting interrupted things and is wearing a Hulkamania t-shirt. Sting isn't buying Hogan retiring. Sting shows some footage of Hogan talking to Bischoff, ripping the fans in Tennessee. Hogan got pissed and said he's down to fight Sting now. Sting agreed and they had a brief stare down before Sting left in the show. Alright, next up was your 10-13, October 13th, 2011 Impact results. Same person. Sent in the results, Bobby Hairston. Again, thank you for the results from Knoxville, Tennessee. This will air 3 days prior to Bound for Glory. Show opened with Daniels, Jerry Lynn, AJ Styles, and Rob Van Dam brawling, leading to a tag match with the 4. Great high-flying match with AJ and RVD getting the win. Kurt Angle came out and called out Bobby Roode. Angle gave props to Roode for beating all of his former partners, Fortune partners, but then put himself over and questions if Roode can get the job done without James Storm to help him out. Roode acknowledged that Angle is the best, but said he has more heart than he and will be the world champion. Roode says no Immortal and no Fortune at Bound for Glory. Just them two giving it all for the world title. Kurt agreed, but announced Roode versus Jeff Jarrett and Gunner for tonight. Matt Morgan beat Samoa Joe. Joe went crazy after the loss and attacked Morgan until Crimson came out with a chair. Morgan versus Joe versus Crimson in a triple threat is announced for Bound for Glory. Mexican America came out and cut promos on Ink Inc. Jesse Neal and Shannon Moore ended up coming out and they brawled. Christina Von Eerie made her supposedly debut, but I think she actually made her debut on their segment on actually tonight's Impact broadcast. But according to the report, this was his first time seeing her debut and helped out Ink Inc. Ink Inc. versus Mexican America for the title is set for Bound for Glory. Brian Kendrick and Jesse Sorensen beat Kid Cash and Austin Aries. Winner Angelina Love, Mickie James, and Velvet Sky come out, followed by Karen Jarrett with Tracy Brooks and Madison Rayne. Tracy and Velvet tripped Karen, which led to a fight that security had to break up. Mr. Anderson beat Scott Steiner. Bully Ray was at ringside and got involved. Abyss came down and went to hit Anderson, but swerve hit Steiner instead. Immortal came down and attacked Abyss and beat up Anderson, putting him through a table. And your main event was Bobby Roode beat Gunner and Jeff Jarrett in a handicap match by making Gunner submit. Immortal ran down afterwards and attacked Roode. James Storm came down, but they took him out also. Jeff Hardy finally came down and cleared a clean house. Hardy celebrated with beer money to end it. Hulk Hogan and Sting come out to end the show for their contract signing for Bound for Glory. Hogan flipped the table over and cut a promo on Sting. Eric Bischoff came out and distracted Sting, allowing Hogan to hit him with a chair. Hogan took it to the floor and beat Sting up, leaving him laid to the end of the go-home show, setting it up for Bound for Glory. Okay, here's a detailed report on the taping that will show on the 6th. Thanks to William Ramsey, attending the Impact tapings in Knoxville, Tennessee. And the first show began with Bear Money coming to the ring. Storm and Roode talk about how they will face each other tonight in the main event. Storm says that tonight he will bring it like never before, and he will be just a little bit better than Rude. They both agree that they are like family and with the rest of the fortune, and that Rude needs Storm to bring it so that he will be ready for Angle at Bound for Glory. Everyone in the crowd was hot for both members of Beer Money as they left to go to the back. Match number 1, Kazarian beat Gunner. Pretty hotly contested match to start off with. Both men hit some big spots, and Gunner gained the advantage by going to work on the arm of Kazarian. Gunner actually made Kazarian tap to a modified standing arm bar, but would not release the hold. Therefore, the referee overturned the decision, and Kazarian won by DQ. Funniest part of the match was a huge "Who was Gunner" chant throughout the arena. Mr. Anderson was next with a mea culpa of sorts. He started things off with apologizing to all of his assholes and said he had recently made some bad decisions and had forgotten those who loved him. He talked about joining a Myrtle and asked the crowd, "What the hell was I thinking?" He said, "In life, you do things you shouldn't, but oh well." He then berated Bully Ray, calling him a douchebag, and that's when Bully Ray's music hit. Bully Ray walked to the ring and pissed off the crowd by making awful comments about Tennessee and Neyland Stadium. Bully Ray told him this issue was over and they were done. Anderson said he thought different and promised one more match. He said Bound for Glory was in Bully Ray's old stomping grounds of Philly. He then proposed a Philadelphia Falls Count Anywhere match at Bound for Glory. The crowd was into the segment, big and popped for the match. Bully Ray left the ring looking confused and unsure of himself. Match number 2, winner Madison Ray with Angelina Love defeated Mickie James and Velvet Sky. Velvet easily got one of the biggest pops of the night here. The match took a turn when Angelina looked away, thinking she was going to trip Velvet, and Velvet reversed, so Angelina tripped winner. This worked the crowd up, and the melee started. And in the confusion, Madison Rain was able to tag in and then got the roll up for the pin over Velvet. Eric Bischoff was next and basically said he had enough and wanted Jeff Hardy in the ring right now. Jeff came out, and Bischoff talked about how Jeff kept screwing up and that he was out of chances with Bischoff. He told Jeff to say goodbye to the fans and leave his ring. Jeff grabbed the mic and out of nowhere hit Bischoff with a twist of fate. Immortal came out to get Hardy. Hardy saw him and bolted through the crowd. Jeff Jarrett was able to help Bischoff make it to the back. Match number 3, Crimson defeated Samoa Joe. These two took it all over ringside. Samoa Joe continued to work on the hurt leg of Crimson, and Crimson sold it pretty well. Joe had everything going his way, including the crowd reaction. The crowd was chanting, "Joe's going to kill you." As Joe went to work back on Crimson's leg inside the ring, Crimson grabbed Joe from the inside cradle and won with a cheap finish. This angle is it's not over from the looks of anything. Bobby Roode defeated James Storm, the main event of the show. No. I saw Roode defeat Storm as Beer Money took on each other. Easily the best match of the entire night, with about 10 near falls back and forth, and the crowd continuously chanting, "This is awesome." Huge superplex spot. Got the crowd yelling louder. Storm and Roode knocked Brian Hebner down, and then Storm retreated to the outside, still dazed. Angle ran down the ringside, threw Storm into the steps, and then threw Storm back in the ring to Roode, who hit a nice fisherman suplex to get the win. And then Hulk Hogan came out for his retirement ceremony. Hogan talked about how when he landed in Knoxville, the fans were so good to him. He said it felt like his first day in the business. Crowd began chanting and clapping, "Thank you, Hogan." Hogan paused and then said this was real. He was done with one of the greatest 30-year runs in the business. Sting comes out, and Hogan was offended. Hogan told him to leave, and so he could celebrate his moment with his fans. Sting said he would after video footage was played. Footage showed Hogan and Bischoff laughing backstage about how everyone bought the retirement garbage and how they had the fans where they wanted them. Hogan drew major heat for it with the fans, and Sting left the ring after Hogan agreed to a match at Bound for Glory. And another detailed report for October 13th, 2011. Chad Schwartz was at the Impact tapings and gave this one a thank you, Chad. Number 1, RVD and AJ Styles defeated Christopher Daniels and Jerry Lynn. The fight started in the back and continued down to the ring. Some really good spots at AJ. By AJ, RVD went for the Rolling Thunder but got tripped up by Lynn and took a hard bump on the outside. RVD took a beating but eventually tagged AJ, who cleaned house. Nice high spots on this one. AJ hit the Styles Clash on Lynn to get the pin. Apparently Daniels and AJ are feuding now. Again. Daniels ran from ringside after the match. Kurt Angle came to the ring and he got a lot of heat. He called out Bobby Roode. The stage says Bound for Glory this Sunday. And this is the go-home show for sure. Angle congratulated Roode on beating all members of Fortune. Angle said he's not Cass, AJ Styles, or Storm. He went over his accomplishments. Angle wants to know what Roode is going to do without his buddy by his side. Angle said he wishes Roode well, and if he loses, he'll shake Roode's hand and step aside. Roode refused to shake hands with Kurt. He said Angle is the best wrestler in the world, but said he has a bigger heart than Angle and will come out with the championship in the end. Roode said he doesn't want Immortal or Fortune out of ringside. He said he wants to find out who's the best. Kurt agreed, left the ring. Kurt stopped at the middle of the ramp and told Roode he'd be facing Gunner and Jeff tonight in a handicap match. Matt Morgan defeated Samoa Joe. A back and forth match between these two. Morgan got the win with a roll-up small package, and Joe snapped. They started attacking Morgan's knee. Crimson made a save with a chair as Joe left. Joe said Morgan and Crimson are always saving each other, and he was sick of it. He challenged both of them to a triple threat match at Bound for Glory. Morgan and Crimson stared each other down before leaving the ring. Jeremy Borash announced that there will be a contract signing tonight between Hogan and Sting. Mexican America came to the ring. Hernandez said that there are some wannabe tough guys called Inc. And if they want to fight, he'll give it to them. Inc. came down to the ring. Jesse Neal asked Hernandez if he lived in America. The USA chant started. Shannon Moore told him to get the hell out, and Mexican America attacked them. They had the upper hand, but then a woman we've never seen before, apparently, came to help out Inc. This is your Christina Von Ehre. She's got tats and spiky hair and clean house. Inc. challenged Mexican America to a match Bound for Glory for the titles. The woman was Jesse Neal's longtime girlfriend, Christina Von Ehre, who had a recent run with the women's indie group called Shimmer. And match number 3 was Brian Kendrick and Jesse Sorensen versus Austin Aries and Kid Cash. Nice high spots from Aries and Cash. Kendrick looks like the genie from Aladdin tonight. Aries and Cash got into an argument. Sorensen tried to capitalize. He and Cash spilled to the outside, which allowed Kendrick to hit the sliced bread on Aries for the win. Velvet did her usual entrance, followed by Mickie James, Winter, and Angelina Love. Karen Jarrett came to the ring next with Madison Rayne and Tracy Brooks. Karen got major heat and called Velvet a five and dime hoe. She said she was class and Velvet was trash. Velvet said she was going to be on the level playing field soon enough, and when she captures the titles, Tracy crawled behind Karen, and Velvet forced Karen backwards and caused her to trip and fall over Tracy. The fight between the knockouts was on and had to be broken up by security. It looks like it will be a triple threat for the knockouts belt at Bound for Glory. Match number 4. Mr. Anderson defeated Scott Steiner with special enforcer Bully Ray. Steiner took it to Anderson early, hitting Anderson with multiple suplexes. Anderson turned the tide with a nice neck breaker. Anderson rolled out and attacked Bully Ray. Abyss ran down and grabbed Steiner's chain. He went to hit Anderson, but he hit Steiner instead. Anderson dumped Abyss and rolled up Steiner for the win. Afterwards, Immortal King came to the ring, confronted Abyss. Bully Ray said something and Abyss snapped. Immortal attacked Abyss and got a table from under the ring. Bully Ray set it up, and Mr. Anderson ran back to the ring to help Abyss. Bully Ray slammed Anderson through the table. Match number 5, Bobby Roode defeated Jeff Jarrett and Gunner. Jarrett and Gunner wouldn't let Roode in the ring, so Roode grabbed a chair and slid it in the ring. The ref took the chair away, and it was a 2-on-1 the whole match. Roode went on the offense, and nice diving neckbreaker from the top from Roode. Roode applied the crossface to Gunner, and he tapped. Immortal ran to ringside and attacked Roode. James Storm ran in to help and got attacked as well. Immortal celebrated when Jeff Hardy ran to the ring. He attacked Immortal and gave Jarrett the twist of fate. He and Roode shook hands, and all 3 men celebrated in the ring. Hogan came out to a mixed reaction. Sting popped big. Hogan rolled his eyes, and when he noticed Sting wearing a Hogan shirt, Sting signed the contract without saying a word and slid it to Hogan. Hogan looked the contract over and signed it. Hogan stood up, knocked over the table. He said Sting has been dancing around him for 30 years. He said he did what Sting and the TNA Originals couldn't do. He said Sting has disrespected him for the last time. Both men shook hands. Eric Bischoff came halfway down the ramp and distracted Sting. Hogan hit Sting with a chair and worked him over in the corner. Hogan threw Sting outside and ran his head into the post. Hogan continued to work Sting over with punches. Finally, Hogan left Sting laid out and exited the arena to close the show. Another report by JL. Thank you, JL. RVD and Styles defeated Christopher Daniels and Jerry Lynn. The last episode before Bound for Glory started with this match. AJ was a mega over. Big support from the crowd. RVD got a lot of cheers, as well as he does. Look like he just going through the motions. There was a little in the way of reaction to Daniels and Lynn. Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode's in-ring promo felt too long and lost the crowd. It'll be interesting to see if they cut any of that from the section in the post-production. Still a healthy reaction for Roode, as it was good on the mic. Just too much dialogue in my view. Match number 2, Matt Morgan defeated Samoa Joe. Joe again had the crowd on his side when he took on Morgan. Later got the good backing through. Though. Still believe it should have be a future world title, but if they are booked, it's got to be booked correctly. Another correspondent noted Morgan received a good pop when he was introduced, but there was a technical issue with that, caused by a 5-minute delay before he actually came to the ring. So there was a botch there. They would have to edit. It's sad to see the state of the once great tag team division. No heat at all for Mexican America. I was surprised that the Pop Inc. got. I'm not a fan at all. TNA needs to develop this division again. Jesse Neal's real-life girlfriend, Christina Von Eerie, appeared during the Inc. King segment, which also featured Inc. King challenging Mexican America to a tag title match at Bound for Glory. He reports of Brian Kendrick in the third match, and Sorensen beat Austin Aries and Kid Cash. Much of the same for the X Division other than Austin Aries, who got a load of backing and very over. Knockout segment was good, and Karen Angle is a heat magnet. Segment featuring Karen ripping on babyface knockouts who teamed up to push her over. Then a brawl broke out with the heel and the babyface knockouts. Match number 4, Mr. Anderson defeated Scott Steiner with a special enforcer bully Ray, who does a great job as a more clear-cut and traditional heel, is also a heat magnet. Mr. Anderson again was very popular. And your main event, Bobby Roode defeated Jeff Jarrett and Gunner. Roode looked strong as he should going into the Bound for Glory main event. Predictable immortal interference, but a strong pop for Hardy coming to the rescue. Sting versus Hogan contract signing. This didn't get much reaction at all. It may have been because it was the end of a long show, but I got the impression it was more because there was no appetite for this match from the fans. People just don't want to see it at this stage. A massive draw at Starrcade in '97 for sure, but 14 years later, we want new stars and to cheer. With the reaction of the likes of Bobby Roode and AJ Styles got in the arena illustrates this. I felt the closing segment was a weak finish to go home show for the biggest pay-per-view of the year for TNA. Thanks for viewing, and I will see y'all next week. Or y'all shall see me next week.